Hi, this is Joseph Anthony of tappingwithmusic.com. Thank you so much for stopping by again. We're in part 2 of a little mini-series on chapter 10, Discover the Wonder of Giving, from Eric Butterworth's wonderful book, Spiritual Economics, The Prosperity Process. And in the last video, the first part, we talked about the what we were born to do, to give. It is just who we are. This unfolding of who we are is a divine process. And in the process of unfolding, we are giving the whole time. And further in the chapter, he distinguishes between takers and givers. And I'd like to read a little bit about that. The taker is a person who believes that his life will always be the total of what he can get from the world. He is always thinking, get, get, get. He plans and schemes ways to get what he wants in money and love and happiness and in all kinds of good. No matter that he may be applying metaphysical techniques, he still may very well be a taker. But whatever may be his spiritual ideals or lack of any, no matter what he takes, he can never know peace or security or fulfillment. The giver, on the other hand, is convinced that life is a giving process. Thus, his subtle motivation in all his ways is to give himself away, in love, in service, and in all the many helpful ways he can invest himself. He is always secure, for he intuitively knows that his good flows from within. And I love that. You know, I spent most of my life being a taker. And again, no shame about that. It is what it is. There's nothing wrong with... Keep that in mind. Don't twist this, really, don't twist this. Because it's fine to want to get. It's even fine to think get, and to desire bigger homes, cars, and all that stuff that money can bring. Or better relationships, or all that stuff. Nothing wrong with that. What he's saying is, if that's all the energy is focused on, is in the acquisition of things that we believe life is just to receive, then we're missing out. And we will never feel secure because things get stolen, things break, relationships end. There is no real peace and security to be found in things. There's security to be found, however, in giving. Living in a constant state of unfolding and giving of ourselves to those around us, to the world. That's where our security is, where we can invest ourselves. I love this. His subtle motivation in all his ways is to give himself away. That's, I think, and what I also think Eric Butterworth is saying here. That's why we were born. We were born to give. And, you know, he goes into a little bit of a theological thing here that I don't want to get too much into about God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. I'm not going to really get into all that theology of what all that means. I believe God's still begetting, but that said, Butterworth likes to just emphasize the fact that God so loved the world that he gave. That's the important part. For God so loved the world that he gave. God is a divine givingness of the universe. And you are created in the image likeness of this divine givingness. You cannot make any sense out of life or realize the free flow of substance in your experience until you begin to see yourself as a giver. It may mean a complete turnaround in your approach to life, where you think give instead of get. In your spiritual quest, you are seeking to establish yourself in an united relationship with the divine flow. You can never really achieve this level of consciousness until giving becomes the main thrust of your life. And when it does, when you discover the wonder of giving, you become unblushingly an incurable giver. Meditate long on this point, for it is one of the most important keys of the prosperity law. Life for the whole person is a giving process. We're not talking specifically about church giving, giving to charity, etc. There are many channels through which your giving may be funneled. We are talking about attitudes towards life. The basic awareness that life is a matter of developing or unfolding from within. It is knowing that life is not something to get, but something to express. It is the fulfilling awareness that your business is always the express business, no matter what name your worldly vocation may bear. And here where this really gets to the crux of the whole chapter, and what I love so much about Eric Butterworth and this idea. Life is all about giving. Could be money, all that's good. And it's about an inner attitude, right? That we instinctively think give instead of get. And he makes it clear that it is a process. Nothing wrong with wanting to get. I got to say that over and over again because it really can get twisted. But to move towards a place, and I'm not talking about, and I don't think he's talking either, about giving in a codependent, enabling way, in that yucky enmeshment way. It's about living in such a way where your life is a gift to yourself and those around you. That you give off a fragrance of kindness and compassion, generosity, sense of humor, manners, creativity, spontaneity, tolerance. All these things are the fragrance of unfolding from within to without the divinity that we are. You know, I think that's a good place to stop before I go on. And Eric Butterworth goes on. So, hope you're enjoying this little series. I think we'll finish it up in the next video. So it'll be a 3-part series on Chapter 10, The Wonder of Giving. Discover the Wonder of Giving. So yeah, one more video on this chapter. Thank you so much for watching. If you need any mentoring or EFT sessions inspired by what we're talking about here, please feel free to go to tappingwithmusic.com and drop me a line. I'd be happy to help in any way I can. And we can continue this journey together. Take care.